Hello, this is David Skinner. I'm doing a presentation for 516 Human Resource Management, or LMU. See that Dr. Holt has joined us, our current CEO of Rome State Community College. Now, I am, of course, part of the Human Resource Department. So, we had a bit of a problem. It's nothing too major, but we believe that it can be resolved relatively quickly, but it is something that needs to be addressed. Now, before I get into the problem itself, maybe I should start with what led to the problem, which would be three major things. Um, the first being the rise in students coming into the school. Ever since about 2000, we've had about a 50 to 100 students coming into the college, which has definitely increased our overall numbers, which has always been good for us, but it also has led into other problems. The second one would be the current economic downturn. When economic downturns occur, students are more likely to join colleges to better their skills, and which we benefited greatly from this particular economic downturn, as we are one of the more affordable schools in the area. Now, the third one is a little more recent. It would be the current Healthcare Act that has been done in Washington. Now, we do get our healthcare from the state, and we would technically not be affected by this, but our rates have changed quite a bit because the overall healthcare system has changed and has actually increased over the last year. And because of this has changed our negotiations a little bit, and it's nothing too major because we are already in an ironclad contract, but this has forced us to enter into a compensation plan in 2014 to kind of help the employees understand where our positions are, and to give them benefits from all these extra students that they might be dealing with, and also this healthcare debacle that is going on currently. Now that we have this compensation issue, we are currently working at 86% of the maximum for the entire program itself. We're not giving out that last 14%, and we do believe that we do need to be trying to address that. We do fear that the faculty may start to leave if we don't try to improve this current system. Now, my team has come up with three plans to actually try to improve the current system. First being, we need to increase the tuition rate for our students. It's about 1.5 grand per student per semester, and we believe that if we raise that up to 2, it won't be too bad in terms of actually hurting our current numbers, but it will give us some extra needed money to put into the compensation package. Now, I did mention that it might hurt our overall student enrollment numbers, which generally is a bad thing for us, because there are three ways we actually make money: is our tuitions and things like that, like monies from the students and other community members, donations. But our biggest one by far is probably about 85 to 90% is from the state itself, which for every student we get money from the state, and from every public project that we do, like events and things like that, we get quite a bit of money from the state for doing these kind of things. And that's why we can afford to have that nice rodeo down there, after all. Now, we are looking at our second option, which would be to lower our current staff. We believe that about 5 to 7% might be enough to stop this particular trend, and actually kind of even it out to about 95% compensation rate, which is not optimal, but is definitely an improvement. We do believe that this might be a particular problem because, as I mentioned earlier, we are increasing, and we have been increasing ever since 2000. So it would be a very terrible idea to start downsizing when, in fact, we are growing every year. And we have been seeing no reasons why we should be stopping anytime soon. Students are more and more becoming more accepted into Rome State. The lottery money has become a big gateway into the college, and we expect that more and more people from Generation Z would like to come into our college as the years go on. And since Rome State is considered the #1 community college in the state of Tennessee, we believe that our enrollment numbers will increase every year for the next foreseeable future. That leads us to our third point, and we believe that this is probably the best one overall. It is a little more subtle, a little more under the table, so to speak. Nothing illegal, I promise. We are just simply going to change the priority from our current status, which has been about low to medium tier to a bit medium to higher tier, a little bit more from our state money. As you probably know, we allocate different funds to different sources. Now, we simply plan to move this money from different areas, different departments, to reallocate this money to the compensation plan itself. Now, we are not asking for a ridiculous amount. We are only wishing to increase the allocation of about 2 to 3% of that 86% total. So every year, I mean, we expect for the next 5, maybe 6 years, we will hit that maximum, and if we continue on this current rate. And in 2020, we believe that we will have another compensation plan to begin with, so we believe that this is the best plan to actually successfully improve our current status. Now, this plan does give us the most flexibility. It gives us, because if we know that one year that we spend a lot of money on athletics, the next year we can cut athletics a little bit. We can be a little bit smarter with our money, and we can kind of just move things around. As long as we keep on the current path of knowing that we need to increase the rate to about 2 to 3% from the total from the last year. Now, I've never actually mentioned what exact numbers are going around here. Currently, our compensation rate is about $2.5 million, which actually is quite substantial. But we do have a large staff, and there are a lot of things to take into consideration, so it's actually quite good. And we're looking at about 2.8, 2.9, possibly 3.0 if we start hiring more employees, which we do believe that will become more and more apparent as we go on. Because of all these factors, we believe that this is probably the best solution to the overall problem. The money coming from the state, which we allocate to different sources, which gives us a little more flexibility. We don't have to step on anybody's toes. These cuts that I mentioned are not going to be significant by any stretch of the imagination. It's just going to be better allocated to different sources. That's just it. We have this compensation problem, and we do need to address it. Now,